Hey, what's up? This is Nick with Ultimate Motorcycling, and today I just got done riding the brand new 2021 Ducati Monster. Now, you guys know what the Monster is. This thing has been around for going on 29 years now. Monster is just one of the most important brands for Ducati, really because it brings some real-world performance into a streetable package, and you get all of that Ducati flavor, which is why the Monster has been such an integral part of Ducati as a brand. Now, moving into 2021, the Monster is doing it all. It is not only the entry-level Monster, the middleweight Monster, the heavyweight Monster, it is the Swiss Army knives of Monster. And that's why it's simply called Monster. So, with this first ride review, we just spent some time racing around San Francisco, the hilly streets of it. And then we also took to some back roads near Pescadero and got a really good taste of what the new Monster can do, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I hope you guys stick around. Of course, the big news for the Monster, and as you guys can see, no trellis frame. Now that has done something really important for this bike as a whole. It has allowed it to save 40 pounds when compared to the now outgoing 821 model. So how did they do that? So they've adopted the same frame architecture as the Panigale superbike, taking the front frame design and using that 937cc L-twin or V-twin engine as a stressed member, along with a directly attached swing arm, and everything else bolts onto that engine. And that's how they've achieved, in one of the many ways that they've achieved, that 414 pound wet weight. So that is very cool. And what does that translate to when you're riding it? Well, it makes this new Monster handle much more nimbly and much more agile machine than its predecessors, especially if we compare that to the 821 or the bigger Monsters like the 1200. Now, for my money, I feel that that's a really good decision because now it has that agility, but it's also got stability in it. So we do have some non-adjustable fork, a non-adjustable fork up here, and then you have a preload only adjustable shock, which at this price point, I would like to see some adjustment at each end just to do a little bit more refinement. But overall, what they've done with the suspension is giving you a very stable, predictable chassis. And that's really important when you do have a very nimble bike like this. Now, tying into that, and one of the other positive things that I would say about this motorcycle as a whole is that you have, once again, a very light bike and a nimble bike, but you also have an engine that delivers, like I said in the intro of this video, real world horsepower. So with this revised 937cc engine, you get 111 horsepower and 69 foot-pounds of torque. Now, this is the same motor that you'll find in the 950 Supersport and the 950 Hypermotard. However, there are some revisions to each of those motors that are specific to them. Of course, with this engine, and to accommodate that front frame, they went to a new cylinder head, and they also did some other modifications to it, to the cylinder walls. They also have a new piston. And then moving on to some other aspects of it, you also have an updated gearbox, which allows for much more positive shifting, and it's just a very precise gearbox at this point. So, talking about the power, that 111 horsepower and 69 foot-pounds torque, I find that very, very accommodating. It is typically sporty, as you'd expect from Ducati. You get on the gas, release this, it's not the lightest clutch pull in the world, definitely not the heaviest, I would say. It's on the lighter side, it's hydraulic clutch. Get on the gas and you get some nice low end torque, and then you just have this huge workable mid-range to play around with, whether you're in the streets or in the canyons, really opening up and having some fun. And then things tend to kind of taper off by about 8.6, 8.7 in the RPM range, and you run out to the red line with some overriff. But overall, I think the engine is a very sporty engine, but approachable engine. So if you're a rider that's coming up from a lightweight bike, say, an R3 or something like that, and graduating to a bigger bike, you'll still be able to use this comfortably, work into it, and then still have plenty of performance to keep you occupied as you keep developing your skills. Or if you're an advanced rider, you'll be able to take full advantage of everything that you have here. So tying into the engine is the very advanced electronics package. So you do have a fully fleshed out electronics package, which is superbike derived, as you'd expect from Ducati. You have an IMU supported system, you have cornering ABS, cornering traction control, launch control, etc., etc. And all of those things can be adjusted. And it's part of that electronics package is, of course, that Ducati quick shifter. You have clutchless shifting up and down. So my case, I really enjoyed it. It works well at low RPM, high RPM, and it's especially fun out in canyons and when you're just commuting. So you don't have to mess with the clutch. 3 preset riding modes. You have urban, which is a very tame throttle response with high rider aid intrusion. Touring, they release the reins a little bit. And then you have sport, which is the mode that I really enjoy the most because, it's the most aggressive map, nice and sporty. You got some good kick to it, and it's not snatchy or anything like that. And that's what I really appreciated. Now, a couple other things that I'd like to go back on with the engine. It is a 937cc V-twin platform. So with that, when you're in traffic, you will feel a little bit of heat coming off of it. And, makes sense. The rear cylinder is right there next to your inner thigh. So yeah, if you're stuck in traffic and not really, in an enlightened state where lane splitting exists, you'll feel a little bit of that and, just get in the wind and you'll be okay. And other than that, you need to slip the clutch below, I'd say, 3,000-ish RPM. But above that, the thing is just smooth as silk and ready to go. So a couple other cool things about this bike is that the ergonomics have changed. And on paper, it seems like it would take away a little bit of its sportiness, kind of that Ducati flavor. And in my experience, that's not the case. It's actually made it a little bit more well-rounded. So the 32.3-inch seat height, which is the standard seat, by the way, is, in my case, very approachable. I have a 32-inch inseam. I stand at 5'10" tall. I can get my boots on the ground with, room to spare. So if you are a shorter rider, I believe that you will still be able to get your boots on the deck. Now, Ducati has thought of you if you happen to be vertically challenged. So they do have a low seat option, which brings you down about an inch or so, or around there. And then they also have, which is super important, a suspension lowering option that can be paired with that low seat height, which lowers the bike down to something like a 32 or 30.5-inch seat or something like that. And that's really important for those shorter riders. Now, the other thing that they've done is actually backed up the handlebar about 2 inches. And then they've also backed up the rear sets about an inch and a quarter, and then lowered them about a ½ inch. Overall, what that has done is kind of created a little bit more comfortable upright riding position and just taken weight off your wrists. But that said, once you get into the canyons and you have some fun, you can drive your way through the foot pegs and everything is a-okay. I actually really enjoyed the riding position on this bike. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is, of course, the brakes. You have Brembo M4 3.2s in the front, 320 millimeter rotors, as you guys would expect with Brembo kit. Very powerful braking feel. And overall, it's just a solid package. Now, I was really impressed with the new Monster. And we rode the Plus version, which comes with your happy little windscreen right here and this passenger seat cover for an additional $200. And those are the 2 models, the Monster Plus and the base model Monster. And this one will set you back just above 12 grand. Now, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them down below and we'll get you some answers. And the last thing I want to remind you guys is to go ahead and be safe out there. So take care.